So here's a wild thought. What if I told you that quitting sugar for just 1 week could literally rewire parts of your brain? I know, it sounds dramatic. But stick with me here, because the science behind this is absolutely fascinating. And honestly, a little terrifying. When you realize how much control sugar has over us. I'm talking about added sugars, by the way, not the natural sugars in fruits or the lactose in your milk. I mean the stuff that's hiding in your bread, your pasta sauce, that healthy granola bar you grabbed this morning. The average American consumes about 77 grams of added sugar per day. That's roughly 17 teaspoons. To put that in perspective, the American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons for women and 9 for men. We're eating almost double or triple what our bodies can actually handle. What happens when you quit sugar on the first and second day? All right, so let's say you wake up tomorrow and decide, you know what, I'm done with sugar for a week. What actually happens? Well, day 1 and 2 are going to be rough, like really rough. And there's a legitimate scientific reason for this. When you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that's triggered by cocaine, alcohol, and gambling. A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine in 2017 actually compared sugar's effects on the brain to those of addictive drugs. The researchers found that sugar creates a similar reward pathway in your brain, which is why that afternoon cookie feels less like a choice and more like a need. So when you suddenly cut off that supply, your brain essentially throws a tantrum. You'll probably experience headaches, maybe some irritability, definitely fatigue. Some people report feeling foggy, almost like they can't think straight. This isn't just you being dramatic. Your body has been running on quick-hit glucose for fuel, and now it's confused. It's like expecting premium gas and getting regular instead. Your system needs time to adjust. Here's what's interesting though, a 2019 study in the journal Appetite found that these withdrawal symptoms typically peak around day 2 or 3 and then start to decline. So if you can push through that initial hump, you're already over the worst part. What happens when you quit sugar on the 3rd and 4th day? By day 3 or 4, something remarkable starts to happen. Your taste buds begin to reset. I'm not exaggerating when I say this changes everything. See, when you're constantly eating sugar, you're basically desensitizing your taste receptors. It's like living next to train tracks. Eventually, you stop hearing the trains. But when you remove sugar, those receptors start to wake back up. Research from the Monell Chemical Senses Center shows that taste preferences can change in as little as a week when sugar intake is reduced. People who participated in low-sugar diets reported that foods they previously found just moderately sweet now tasted incredibly sweet. That apple you thought was just okay? It's going to taste like candy now. And that's your natural state. That's how your taste buds are supposed to work. Around this time, you'll also notice your energy levels starting to stabilize. Instead of those crazy spikes and crashes, the 3 o'clock slump that has you reaching for another coffee or snack. You'll start to feel more consistently energized throughout the day. This happens because your body is learning to regulate blood sugar more effectively without the constant insulin roller coaster. If you're finding this information helpful so far, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people discover this content. And I promise the best part is still coming. What happens when you quit sugar on the 5th through 7th day? Now we're getting to the really good stuff. By day 5, 6, and 7, your body is genuinely transforming at a cellular level. Let's talk about inflammation first, because this is huge. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that excessive sugar consumption triggers inflammatory processes in the body. When you cut out sugar, these inflammatory markers start to drop, sometimes significantly. What does less inflammation mean for you? Well, some people notice their skin starts to clear up, those random breakouts or that puffy look around your eyes, that can start to improve. Joint pain might decrease. Some people even report better digestion because sugar can mess with your gut microbiome, feeding the bad bacteria while starving the good ones. Your sleep quality is another thing that often improves during this week. Research from Columbia University found that higher sugar intake is associated with lighter, less restorative sleep and more nighttime awakenings. When you remove sugar, particularly in the evening, your sleep architecture improves. You're spending more time in that deep, restorative sleep phase that your body desperately needs. And here's maybe the most exciting part. Your relationship with food starts to change. A fascinating study from 2016, published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, found that reducing added sugar intake decreased cravings for sweet foods over time. It's like breaking a cycle. You eat less sugar, you want less sugar, which makes it easier to eat less sugar. It's a positive feedback loop instead of the negative one you've been stuck in. The bigger picture. Now, I want to be clear about something. 7 days isn't going to reverse years of high sugar consumption, but what it does is give you a reset, a glimpse into what your body is capable of when you give it a break from the constant sugar assault. The World Health Organization released guidelines stating that reducing free sugar intake to less than 10% of total energy intake reduces the risk of overweight, obesity, and tooth decay. But here's the kicker, they noted, that a reduction to below 5% would provide additional health benefits. Most of us are sitting at around 15 to 20%. We're not even close. Think about it this way. Sugar has been linked to increased risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver disease, certain cancers, and cognitive decline. A meta-analysis of 37 different studies published in the BMJ found a significant relationship between sugar-sweetened beverage consumption and weight gain. We're talking about something that affects nearly every system in your body. But 7 days gives you power. It shows you that you're not powerless against these cravings, that you can feel different, better, more in control. And for a lot of people, that's the catalyst for longer-term change. Practical reality. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that you need to quit sugar forever. That's not realistic for most people. And honestly, it's not necessary. What I am saying is that becoming aware of how much sugar controls your daily experience is worth the experiment. 1 week. Just to see. Just to feel the difference. Some people do this and decide they want to keep going. Others go back to eating sugar, but find they naturally want less of it. Both outcomes are wins because you're making informed choices. Instead of operating on autopilot, the reality is that food companies have spent billions of dollars engineering products to hit your bliss point, that perfect combination of sugar, salt, and fat that keeps you coming back. They're not evil, they're just really good at their jobs. But that doesn't mean you have to be a passive participant in this game. So what happens when you quit sugar for 7 days? Your brain chemistry shifts, your taste buds reset, your energy stabilizes, your inflammation decreases, your sleep improves, and most importantly, you realize that you have more control than you thought you did. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Those first few days are genuinely challenging, but is it worth it? I'll let you be the judge of that. Try it. Give yourself 1 week. Pay attention to how you feel, how you sleep, how you think. Keep a journal if that helps, and then make your decision based on your experience, not on what I'm telling you or what some marketing campaign wants you to believe. If you found this valuable and you want to see more content about health, nutrition, and honestly just understanding how our bodies actually work, hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here for the next one. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go check my pantry labels because apparently there's sugar in everything, and that's a whole other video.